Hi everybody, Carrie Cox here. I just wanted to come and talk. I did kind of a short little snip videos that I posted earlier this week. A lot of people at this time of year are looking at fat on the body and trying to lose weight and get in better shape. One thing I kind of want to talk about is the fact of fat and why we tend to hold on fat. Not only do we hold on to fat because we have too much glucose in the body and then the body reaches its limits and seals off the cells and then we start storing that on the body itself, but there's also factors that can come along with toxicity. I want to specifically talk about things like your trans fats. Trans fats play a huge role because in this time frame of life, we have a lot of people that are so busy that they can't, or they don't feel they can, make themselves meals and do their home cooking. So a lot of times we're buying foods that are packaged. We're going to fast food restaurants where they're cooking our food in vegetable oils that are being heated at high heat over and over and over again. And a trans fat is basically it's a fat that becomes a hydrogenated oil through heat. Basically, the oil is getting to such a high heat point that you're getting oxygen put into there, and then it's destroying the fat itself. Once it turns into a trans fat, your body, when you eat that and put it into the body, it takes a very, very long time for the body to actually process that through the liver over and over and over again and then flush it out. In this day and age time frame, we have so many things that are toxic in our environment that our livers are already overwhelmed. So running something through it over and over and over again and adding to that constantly just overwhelms the body. So then it's going to take toxicity and it's going to encapsulate it, and it's throwing it into your fatty tissue. When you're throwing toxins into your fatty tissue is actually what releases chemicals or hormones out to you, telling you are hungry or you're full. And now you're throwing toxins in it. So now it's trying to hold on and store toxins to keep your vital organs from being hurt in any kind of way. You don't obviously want toxins getting to your heart and to your liver. Well, your liver is supposed to remove the toxins, so that's not a good example. But your heart, your kidneys, a lot of the organs that you're banking on being able to process things, you don't want toxins just sitting there and the body having to deal with that. So realize that you want to get rid of weight, but yet at the same point in time, you're eating things out of bags, boxes, and such like that are going to have certain oils that are turned into trans fats used to preserve the food so that it can have a longer shelf life, so that you can have that convenience. And then you're also going out to eat. And I'm going to say most people, it's a very rare thing if you're only going out to eat anymore, probably once a week. If you're putting that into your body and getting deep fried foods once a week, and it takes, let's say, 50 days before that can be filtered through, by the time you hit 50 days where it barely can start cycling things out of your body, you've already put in over and over and over again before it could even get filtered out. So a huge way of keeping from getting toxicity stored in there and the body holding onto those fats is to not expose ourselves over and over again to trans fats. Look at your packaged foods. Do they have a lot of vegetables oils in them? Are you getting corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil? Are you getting soy, safflower, sunflower? Those plant oils can't go to such a high heat to be converted into an oil. When they do go to those high heats and get converted into an oil, they are becoming a trans fat. And now you're subjecting yourself to that on a regular basis. Everybody, deep fried foods just taste really good, right? But the damage that they do in the end and the misery that we have in trying to rid our body of those toxins and the metabolic issues it causes us by eating those things really forfeit any kind of goodness and enjoyment we are getting out of having those fats. There are so many alternatives that you can do. Fat itself is generically not bad for you. It's actually very good for you, very anti-inflammatory. It's feeding and doing a lot of things. It's just when you get these plant oils that are getting at a high heat and then you're ingesting that, your body has to work so hard to get rid of it over and over and over again. And then everything else that we have coming up against us that we're trying to filter through and manage is causing that problem, and we're holding on to that, and we're just packing it on to where we have to be doing these extreme things to try to get the body to filter through. Not to mention the amount of glucose that we're getting in abundance from all of our foods, high fructose corn syrup, and just sugars everywhere we turn, and we're not using that energy because anymore there's a lot of things that we don't have to get out and do anymore. We're not as active and moving as we used to. And when we're not using that energy, again, we're storing that and we're packing that onto our body. So I guess my point is that be cautious, be vigilant about the things that you're putting in your body. Look at your ketchups, your dressings, your peanut butters, your packaged foods, and be vigilant about what's getting in, the oils that are getting in. Everybody's gone to the fact that vegetable oils are just amazing for you. That's not the case, actually, and especially if it's been used to cook with and in high heats. Using your tallow, your fats from animals and such like that can actually go to the higher heats and not be a problem. Any kind of fat you don't want to use over and over and over again, and you also don't want to add sugars with it and other factors too. So it's all about understanding the factors, and that's what I love trying to help people. Look at your situation, look at the foods you eat every day, look at what you're doing in your everyday diets and analyze that. Very much the biggest places you're going to find that you insert trans fats is your packaged food, and in your going out to eat, and when you're getting deep fried foods. Those are the two main places I would start. And then start looking at other factors. If you can get peanut butters where you're going to the store and they're freshly grinding them, the likelihood is you're not having some of those plant fats that are getting converted into trans fats. And then look also at your ketchup, your dressings, and different factors like that. It's a process of getting there, but this is a way you're eliminating it from initially packing it on. When we're all wanting to lose weight and get in shape, it's so much harder to do when we just keep putting those things back on our body and stressing the body out. So pay attention, start removing some of those things, and that in itself will help you to not hold on to that fat. If you're toxic in your fat cells, which is the adipose tissue underneath your skin, if there's toxins being held there, it's just going to keep holding on until it can actually filter those things through and release them. And if we can stop from doing it in the first place, it will be beneficial. But if we can support the detoxifying organs, the liver, and limit the sugars and limit the other factors, those will help. But there is also, if you can eliminate and keep from getting these trans fats into your body in the first place, creating less toxicity within your adipose tissue, which also will help you adapt your hunger. Your leptin, your ghrelin is what is released as a chemical to make you hungry or not hungry. So those factors will balance out too as we get less toxic within our adipose tissue itself, which is that fat that sits right underneath the skin. If you guys want more help with this, more understanding to this, go to my website. I have blogs that I'm constantly posting. I try to do YouTubes. I try to do lives here so that people have things to access. I try to keep it in terms that people can understand, so therefore that it's not over your head. But if you have questions about what I say, go to my website. There is down towards the bottom where you can submit questions and ask anything. You can do a symptom survey and I can help you figure out where things are going on with you specifically that you need support. So let me know. Go to utahfoundationalnutrition.com, and I'm happy to help you to educate. If you're local, you can come in and do a scan. That can give you some information about what's going on. I send all that to you. You can look it over. I can make a recommendation of a supplement plan. I can work with you. I have where you can go in and join some of my plans where I can do nutrition with you, giving you a plan and answering any questions along the way, helping you understand which directions you need to go, things to steer away from, things to go towards, and to help you reach your goals. I will talk to you guys later. You have a great rest of the week and a great weekend.